And resort activities. There are a ton of resort activities at this resort. Hi guys, thanks so much for clicking on our video. We are excited to talk to you today about Port Orleans Riverside.
And if you guys are new to the channel, we're Brandon and Allison with Fly Kite Vacations. We have our 4 kiddos ranging from 1 to 10 years old. We love all things Disney. We try to share as much as we can about our trips, tips and just stories that we have from our trips. And also, we love to help plan vacations. So if you need any help with that, let us know.
And please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. This way you can be on board for all of our Disney fun. And then if you could go ahead and hit that little like button, that really helps support us as well. And we would really be grateful.
The Port Orleans Resort started with the French Quarter Resort May 17th in 1991. Its sister resort, currently it's called the Riverside, but it originally was the Dixie Landings Resort, was opened on February of 1992. And anyone staying at these sister resorts are able to enjoy both of them during their stay.
So Port Orleans Riverside is a moderate resort, and the prices range from $300 to about $450 a night, and that of course depends on your time of year, and it also depends on your room type. There's not a ton of room types at this resort. You either have your preferred room type, or you'll have your standard room that sleeps 4, or you'll have one of those 5th sleeper rooms at this resort. The other room option they have at Port Orleans Riverside is the Royal Rooms, and these are really unique to this resort. They are princess themed, they are in that Magnolia Bend section, and these are really fun, especially for your princess lover. So basically, the way this resort was created was to kind of go along the river and sort of tell the story of Louisiana. So like you first have your French Quarter area, which is in the heart of the city, and then down the river, you're gonna see some of those larger homes right off of the river, which would be like those big, huge, elaborate homes with the columns, and there are actually over 1,000 rooms in the Magnolia Bend section, which is those more ornate looking from the outside. And then as you kind of continue to go down, as you would get more into that the bayou.
Going down the bayou.
Yeah, you're gonna go down the bayou. You're gonna see more of the rustic alligator bayou areas, which is more of the like cabiny type feel, more rustic. That would be the other side of the Riverside Resort, which also has over 1,000 rooms in that area.
In our resort videos, we love to share with you guys 3 positives, 3 negatives about the resorts, and then some encouragement of why this resort might be a good fit for you. Starting with the positives, our first positive is just the relaxed vibe. To our surprise, it was a very, very good one. I think you were saying that it is a resort we went after Christmas to. So after Christmas, we went to this resort, and one of the busiest times of the year for Disney, and it was not that bad. The resort itself was a good escape from the hustle and bustle of the parks, and we really enjoyed being there and walking around and enjoying it. So the vibe was really cool.
Very relaxed vibe for sure. So the second thing that we really enjoy about this resort is you have sort of 2 resorts at your fingertips. So you've got, of course, that French Quarter, and then you also have the Riverside. So you can go back and forth between the 2 pools at each resort. You can enjoy the quick services at each resort. You just have more space to walk around, enjoy, and you kind of get, you know, a 2-for-1 sort of deal with this, and you can't really pool hop at other resorts like that, but you kind of feel like you're breaking the rules a little bit by going back and forth between the 2 resorts. So it's a really, really good one to have a resort day at, and a really good one that you're just never going to get bored at.
And the third positive we have for this one is the food. Of course, it lands with me again. You have a lot of options. Of course, sharing those resorts, you're able to go back and forth between the 2 quick services. A really good one at Riverside and a pretty awesome one at the French Quarter. Cajun flavors there at the French Quarter, Sassagoula Soda Float Works. They have a table service at Riverside, and it's
Boat rides.
boat rides. And then, of course, your beignets at the French Quarter, which is another favorite.
Scat Cat's Lounge.
Scat Cat's Cafe Lounge.
Yeah.
You
And
have
then
a
you
lot of
also have
options.
that, you have the Scat Cats Club and the lounge. So you have like
Okay.
2 areas. At the French Quarter, the lounge kind of has like I can't remember actually if it's the lounge that has the music, right?
Lounge
I
is
think
the
it's
music,
the lounge
yeah.
that have
I think
music
that's
on
it.
certain
It's in it.
nights and like jazz. And then they serve beignets there too.
Okay.
But then they also have like the club, which is just like kind of a in and out, grab beignets and go. And that's at the French Quarter. But you've got a lounge over too at Riverside as well. So you have a lot of
You
food
do have a
options.
lounge, that's right. Because up by the table service, you have
Yeah.
another little part there.
Yeah.
They do have a lot of
Yeah,
options.
they have
For
a
a
lounge.
moderate, that's pretty awesome.
It's really good.
Can't forget the boats. They have the boats that go over to Disney Springs.
Yes.
So not only do you have plethora of options at your resort, you have
Yeah.
Disney Springs, a quick little boat ride away.
And a relaxing boat ride too.
Relaxing boat.
Maybe 10 to 15 minutes, depending on which side you're at. But like, you have so many options for food by going over to Disney Springs. But I also love the quick service at Riverside. It is probably one of my all-time favorite quick service because it's huge, and I just feel like the kiddie area is really neat there, and they have the little
TV.
they
Tables.
have the tables for the kids, like a little table for the kids. They have a TV. They have the
Coloring wall.
what do you call it?
The wheel?
The wheel, the river wheel. It's not a windmill.
No, the water wheel.
They have
It's
the
the-
wheel
It's
that's
set up like a grinder.
yes,
You use it.
yes,
And there's
yeah,
a big.
and you just can kind of like watch that, and it's just really cool. So now we're going to go into the negatives of this resort. So the first thing I want to talk about is what everyone pretty much talks about with this resort, and that is the transportation. So at Riverside, you only have one option for Disney transportation as far as getting to the parks, and that would be the buses. And it's a big resort like we already discussed, so you're going to have to do an internal bus loop, which means you're going to have, I think, if I'm correct, it's 4. Maybe is it 4 stops total?
4, 1 including the main building.
Yeah.
And then 3 around.
So it could potentially,
Riverside
depending on
itself.
depending on where you're at the resort, which side you're on, it could take you like 15 minutes, maybe even just to get out of it before you go to the parks. So that can kind of be a little bit of a drawback. Now you do have the transportation by boat to Disney Springs, which is awesome, but that's not really going to be helpful when getting to the parks.
The second drawback for Port Orleans Riverside is the building setup. There's no elevators. Rooms are outside. It's pretty spread out, kind of hard to get to a little bit. But having that access to the second level only by stairs could be a little bit tough and getting around in general could be a little bit tough. It's a pretty big one, like we said, 1,000 rooms. In the bayou, 1,000 in the Magnolia section.
Yeah, I mean, all the walks are very pretty and picturesque, but you're going to be walking a little bit when you're staying there. So the third negative on this one would be the rooms over at the Riverside, the Alligator Bayou right now are still kind of dark and a little bit dated. They haven't been updated as in the past as much as some of the other resorts. So I think they could be considered a little bit outdated. French Quarter has kind of had their refurbishment and those rooms look awesome. And at Riverside Magnolia Bend section, they are working on doing some of those rooms, and the ones that are finished look great. So I'm hoping that eventually...
That's the Tiana rooms, princess rooms?
They haven't got to those yet. I don't think they've done just the regular rooms over there, but they'll get to those. And I think they are going to do some of the princess rooms as well too. But so yes, the Magnolia Bend, they are working on renovating over there right now. But the Alligator Bayou, as far as I know, they don't have any plans for that one right now. But hopefully they'll eventually get to those rooms as well. But definitely think those rooms are darker. There's not a there's like a curtain that separates the bathroom area from like where the beds are versus the whole like sliding door that you'll get at some of the resorts. So just overall, I don't think the rooms are the best at Riverside.
And some reasons this might be a good resort for you and your family. The first of which is the fifth sleeper options, the Port Orleans Riverside, and we've used this, of course, a couple times and plan to do it again. They have the fifth sleeper. They have accommodations for up to 5 people and 6 if they're under a certain age. Which, of course, we're gonna have our 6th or our 4th kiddo, our 6th person in that room, and it might be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but we all fit.
Yeah, and it's very affordable too, because a lot of the value resorts do not have fifth sleeper options. So honestly, Port Orleans Riverside is probably one of the more affordable options for a family that is over 4. So this could also be a good choice if you really like resort time and resort activities. There are a ton of resort activities at this resort, from obviously the pools. Obviously you've got the roasting the marshmallows and all of that. You've got a really cool playground there at this resort. You've got fishing. You can go to the fishing hole. Yes, they have the Surrey bikes here.
The fishing thing is not too much more either, to kind of throw that out there. It wasn't like a Surrey bike, let's rent that for $20-$30 or whatever the price is, or a horse ride.
So you've got the Surrey bikes, you also have the horse and carriage rides, just a lot of really fun activities that you can do there as a family.
And third reason that this might be a good resort for you and your family is if you have a kiddo that loves princesses. They have the princess rooms in the Magnolia Bend area, and also the fifth sleepers are pretty well decorated with Princess and the Frog, the Tiana decorations, and those princess rooms especially kind of have like extra little special touches.
They do. They're really neat.
For the price points, are just a really fun stay.
Unfortunately, we don't have any footage on those princess rooms for you to see, but they have pictures of all Tiana's friends on the wall. Some very ornate details along the trim of the rooms.
A letter from Tiana.
You get a letter from Tiana on your little table. There's fireworks on the back of the beds. They have like a little button. So I think they are working on kind of refurbing those rooms as well too, to make them just a little bit more updated. But that would be perfect for your little princess.
Thank you guys so much for watching and checking out this video. We hope this helps you learn a little bit more about the Port Orleans resorts, as well as make a good decision on whether this is a right fit for you and your family. And as always, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more about us and our family and our experiences, and some tips and tricks hopefully along the way. We'll see you next time.
Bye guys.
Bye.